Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I want to make another video on the Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max update for the Capcom Fighting Collection, because the recently added characters is not the only addition to the game. And if we select our character here, let me pick Ryu, alongside the 3 isms, you can also select 4 modes, or 3 modes alongside the normal mode. Mazi, Saikyo, and Classic. And I want to make a video going over each mode and each ism. Let's start with the isms since they're part of the base Alpha 3. You select isms in rank, but you cannot select the modes in rank. The modes are kind of a lobby-only system. Beginning with A ism, or Z ism in Japan, because it's Alpha 0. This is the default ism for the game. Your main meter is split in 3 parts, and you can use that for level 1, level 2, or level 3 supers. Wait. And you have 3 of them in total in the alpha version of the ism. You also have a couple mechanics, such as air blocking. So if you air to air, you can block mid-air attacks. But blocking in general is penalized in this game. Alongside chip damage, you also have a guard bar. And if that bar reaches 0, you get guard crush. Not only do you get guard crush, but your guard meter fills up less. You have less guard meter to work with for the rest of the battle. So it punishes like just continuous blocking without fighting back. Not only that, but there you go. There's alpha counters, which is basically a guard cancel, or in later games they call it a drive reversal or a V reversal. These are your general like system mechanics for the game. Next up, variableism. So as you can see, my meter only has 2 segments. You can barely see a line. My meter only has 2 segments instead of 3. That means general options like doing a super or doing an alpha counter, aka guard cancel, is generally more expensive. But to make up for it, you have access to this. A custom combo state where you could just cancel anything into anything. And it can be difficult for new players to wrap their head around it, but it makes a lot of characters, especially dogshit characters like Alpha 3 Sagat, actually kind of good with this ism. So you're effectively trading some form of defense, especially since your guard gauge is worse in this ism. You're trading defense for a powerful offensive tool in the form of custom combos. And lastly, for this one, I'm gonna select Sagat to demonstrate it. Is X-ism, or Simpleism, right? It's named after the Japanese name for Super Turbo, which is, they called it Super X. So if we pull up the move list, Tiger Knee, you can see in the move list, Tiger Knee on either Alpha or Variableism is done with a Z input. However, Tiger Knee on the Street Fighter 2 ism is done with the Street Fighter 2 input instead. Basically, this ism aims to replicate, it doesn't replicate fully, it tries to replicate Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Motion inputs go back to their Street Fighter 2 iteration. Your mechanics are swapped around to mimic Street Fighter 2. So your super only has 1 segment, just like Super Turbo. You cannot air block, just like Super Turbo. You have a greater guard bar because guard crush does not exist in Super Turbo. Stuff like that. And also you cannot alpha counter. It's a very like traditional Street Fighter 2. So these are your isms. Now time for the crazy shit that Alpha 3 Max added. So this one is called Mazi. So Mazi is kind of a crazy ism because your damage is boosted on all of your moves. A fuck ton. And Ken takes a lot of damage. You deal more damage, but you receive more damage as well. This is another part of X-ism I forgot to mention. You do more damage, but you receive more damage to mimic Street Fighter 2. The damage received and damage taken property of Mazi stacks with the 1 from picking X-ism. So if you pick X-ism and Mazi, you deal a fuck ton of damage. Like, this is ludicrous damage. Holy shit. But there is a drawback, right? Right? You can see that Dan, the opponent here, only has 1 round win pip on his side of the screen, while I have 2. The player who is not on Mazi will have to win only once. The player on Mazi has to win the programmed in number of rounds to win, but the player on who isn't on Mazi only has to win 1 round, regardless of how many rounds you've inputted. This is because if you pick Mazi, the moment you lose a round, you instantly lose the game. That's it. So it's kind of like a fucked up version of Street Fighter Alpha, where on top of receiving more damage, on top of dealing more damage, 1 mistake and you can lose everything. Which is like an interesting way to play the game, I suppose. So let's go in normal mode for a second, because I want to showcase a little cute combo, nothing too crazy. All right, let me show you a couple combos, right? Take punch punch Tatsu. Crouch strong Hadoken. And then crouch strong medium Shoryuken. Combos that can be done in any Street Fighter game, they're not too crazy. Let's pick Saikyo mode, named after the martial arts style of Dan Hibiki. As you may or may not have guessed, Saikyo style is fucking horrible. You have a lot of nerfs. A way smaller guard bar, less damage, a way smaller stun bar, but most importantly, you cannot cancel normals into specials. Which brings me to variable ism, because I have not tested it. Okay, you can cancel specials into specials and normals into specials while variable ism, but that's it. In normal play, you cannot cancel normals into specials because Dan is fucking horrible. This ism, or this mode I should say, is probably good if you have a younger sibling who's not good at fighting games. Right? Like, you just want to play some alpha, they don't know how to play, they pick a character with all of their full capabilities, and you pick any character on Saikyo mode. So long as you're not on variable ism, you're gonna struggle. Really bad ism otherwise, but it's probably good if you have like a much younger sibling and you just want to handicap yourself, right? Because it's not fun sandbagging on someone who doesn't know how to play the game, but like if you put in systems that makes it so that even fighting your younger sibling is a struggle, it's gonna lead to a fun time. Last but not least is classic. When I selected the mode, I was not able to pick the ism. This is because the game forces me to be on the super turbo ism. So I picked the mode and I picked this game speed. And this is because, whereas the super turbo ism emulates super turbo, classic mode actually lets you play Street Fighter 2 New Challengers. You don't have a guard bar, so a guard crush is impossible. You don't have a super meter, you don't have nothing. It's straight up pure Street Fighter 2. No supers, no nothing. It's basically like jump jump. Now, whether or not characters are their New Challengers iteration as opposed to their Super Turbo iteration on normal Xism is not something I know. If you want to emulate Street Fighter 2 style in a way that Xism doesn't really allow, this classic mode is a good way to do so. You can play Street Fighter 2 New Challengers with a cast of Alpha 3. Including copy-pasted characters from other games. So that's it for this video. That's the explanation of all the isms. That's the explanation for all the modes. The isms are baked into Alpha 3. However, if you buy the collection, or if you buy specific versions of Alpha 3, you may not see the modes. If you buy the Fighting Collection 2, and you want to enable those modes, you go to Game Settings, And on the same tab that you enable the secret characters, additional characters, the copy-pasted CS2 characters, and then mode select. You have to enable this. Original, it's off, and on, it's on. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.